Okay, let's do this. Jog 3 miles before breakfast. Make it to work by 9. Run out for a salad at lunch. Oh, time to own that meeting at 3. Yes, 10,000 steps. What's next?
Fearless is not hitting snooze. That's the power of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Federal Employee Program. With more healthy benefits and tools, no one does more to help you live fearless. Sign up at fepblue.org/action by December 14th.
Blog Talk Radio.
Sage Infinite, Online Nation, yeah. Hey yo, welcome to the Online Nation. Victory I'm chasing, penetration helps to spread the floor spacing. You know I'm acing, all for the SimNation. The hesitation, freeze the D in location. They can't recover, got the skill like no other. I hit shots, leaderboards giving me props. I tell them Jesus fall back, call a play and attack. They wanna rage quit, playing 2K, that's it. Rec Center to the park, jump shot with the arc. Going on runs, the home crowd feeling my spark. Spot your weakness, guarantee you reach. I teach quick, the D slip, flip the finger roll, that's it. Who got next? I shake a dude out of his checks. Caught some new ones, opponents better show me respect. Ride the bench next time, all witness my shine. Who can see me? The future like NYC. Peace.
Yeah. What's good? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you at. It's your man, NYCDaFuture, and welcome to the Online Nation Gaming Radio. We're here, thank God for another day. Man, it's been a long week, right? But we here, man, finally, man. Good looking out for that heat, Sage Infinite. Y'all already know what it is. He's always delivering the heat all the time. Check his website out, sageinfinite.com, and also follow him on Twitter. For the new listeners today, Online Nation is a movement for any online gamer that loves to play online and just cares about online gaming, period. So if you love online gaming, then you're part of the Online Nation. The number to call in tonight is 646-787-1972. Tonight, more than likely, we're going to be having our guest, Dre Baldwin, a.k.a. Dre All Day. All the hoop heads know who he is, man, on YouTube, man. He be killing it all the time. He has his motivational tips. He played overseas. So he's definitely making a big move on just everything in basketball, man, together, man. So hopefully we'll have him on shortly. Topic today will be about the NBA season. Just a wrap-up for what's happened throughout the season so far. Also, if y'all want to talk about NBA 2K16 and NBA Live 16, then we can also talk about that. Like I said, man, subscribe, follow the Facebook group, man, Online Nation Gaming, all right? So just put facebook.com/groups/Online Nation Gaming, and we discuss about anything, man, video games, 2K, all that stuff, man. So definitely look out for that. Also follow my Twitch, man, doing the Play Now online series. If y'all see my last video on YouTube, which y'all should check out, NYCDaFuture, same thing as always. I had a pre-warm-up game with my Lakers, which I will be doing the series for Play Now online series with my Lakers and maybe the Knicks also, man. I just want to play with a Tier 3 team because it's more of a challenge, man. I like challenges online, you know? I mean, I could use the Thunder. That's my team also for basketball league games. But I think it's more of a challenge if you play with a Tier 3 instead of a Tier 1 to get to the GOAT level. So myself personally, I'd rather play and have that challenge to myself. So follow that channel, man, the Twitch channel, man, twitch.tv/NYCDaFuture. And, shout out section, man. SimNation All Day, you know what it is. There's every Friday nights, man, SimNation Hangouts be popping, for real. It's every Friday nights at 10 o'clock. So check that out. Also, shout out to Big Mama. You already know. Who else, man? Shout out also to Nelson, man, because he always be on the SimNation Hangout. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to my co-host, man, my peoples, Lil Spaz 57. What up, man? Check his YouTube out, man. He's definitely delivering crazy tips every day, every week. You know what I mean? So check him out. Also to my other co-host, DJGonzoStar, always bringing all the great knowledge, man. Even though the Bulls, man, I don't know about the Bulls going to make it to the finals, but hey, that's neither here or there. What's good, OG Sports, LD2K? Y'all got to call in, man. What's good, iPod King Carter, big YouTuber, and K Spade the Prospect. What up, man? Props to everybody on the editorscorner.com, man. I say it every week. That site is crazy, man. So check that out, man. They have great logos, and they're just an up-and-coming website, man. Check that out. Shout out to Operation Sports, you know. Shout out to them, 2K Sports, everybody in the Online Nation, my people, Ovi, Ray 2K, my bro, Queen Baller, my people in B-Wood, calling, Sean, JT, my boy Ali and Nick, Marco, what up? My Xbox people, C Grizzly, H.S. Baller, Drew, P-Town, Trav, he doesn't want to be having the guy selling his guy out, so props to him, man. He's making that little money, man. Future 23, man. What up? BX Rocks Boy, D Block 518, I think. Yo Baby Mama Hero, Derek Ball, Earl Gotti, Dash 23, Juga, NGC 305. What up? Coach 2K, Sam, man. What up, man? He said he's gonna be calling the show one of these days, man. So he definitely has a great YouTube tutorial, man, about tips and stuff also, man. So check him out. LPZ, what up? Sim I Am, SimNation, Big Kev, SimNation, Jersey Made, and Jersey Lane. Jersey Made, that was a good, what was it? I think it was Saturday when Dezar was doing the commentary for your game versus Suit Collector. So that was pretty cool. That's the thing that we actually talked about also on the Online Nation Gaming, that we're going to be doing that soon, where we're going to be streaming games and have a commentary, either Spaz or DJGonzoStar or me or anybody else that's going to do the commentary. We're going to be playing games and people are going to be viewing it. You know, it's going to be very interesting, right? Fella 504, what up? Who else? Coach Mayer, Rob Davis, Pito, Crazy Girl, Hollywood Sports, I Rep Lincoln Nation, Engineering Sports, Flight Square New York, Pasta Padre, Mike Titan, Terrell Blair, what up? Hip Hop Gamer was good, Sports Gamer, World Gamer Julio, Jeff from the Baldwin Brothers, everybody in the Baldwin Brothers, Facebook, we got know where it is, Sports Gamers Online. And yeah, man, let's get to this small talk section. Shit.
3-minute round thing, book me for a long time. Fuck the preview, let's let that beat through. It's 3D too. Okay, fans, we all know how this gon' end. With him in the bag and a towel on him. I fuck with y'all so heavy, I'ma let y'all decide his fate. Talk to the little nigga or just wild on him. What y'all want me to do? What y'all want?
Yeah, so the small talk section, everybody knows what it is. Every week we talk about anything, life, basketball, it's anything, right? So I want to talk about, man, because I already know I'm a Laker fan. Is it time for Kobe to call it quits, man? Man, if y'all seen the last couple of games, man, especially in New York, man, like against Brooklyn, they won the game on Brooklyn, but he had 18 points. I think he also had 18 points yesterday against the Knicks, and they lost yesterday. But man, it's just sad to see a legend go like this. But I mean, listen, you got to give it to Kobe, man. He's been in the league for 20 years, and as a shooting guard to go through all that within one team, you got to give him props, man. So even though he's not himself, hey, it is what it is, man. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that Kobe should call it quits after this season, or continue to play another year? And if he does play another year, do y'all think that he's gonna go to the Knicks, or will he stay with the Lakers? So I want to hear what y'all opinion is about that. And let's get to our co-host, man. You. Spaz, little Spaz, what up, man?
What up, bro?
Chillin',
It's a
man.
rap, son. It's a rap.
It's a
Rap
rap.
for your man. Over for over. You gotta call it. You gotta hang it up, man. Anytime when you do and Kobe could still contribute to a team, but I don't see him unless he joins like a juggernaut team. You know what I'm saying? It's over. You know what I'm saying? He's not that guy anymore. You know what I'm saying? at least that's what I'm seeing. Especially like he did like a underhand layup. Like, what are you doing? Like,
I saw that.
I seen that shit. I was like, what the fuck is this nigga? And you know, I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm looking like, and you know, the Lakers are basically my second team, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what's this nigga doing? Like, stop, man. Get him up out of here, man. Get up out of here, man. It's a wrap, man. Can't be doing that, man. It's a wrap,
yeah,
though.
I bet all y'all was so happy. I bet y'all so happy to see Kobe play like this, man. Like, y'all was waiting for Kobe to be like this.
Nah. It's just, I can't say that. Because it's just like with Jordan, when Jordan was killing the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Then you just seeing like decline on a decline. But even though Jordan, even on Jordan's decline, he ain't decline like Kobe. Kobe doing shit out of pride, man. You could tell. Like he's so used to like being in front of people, and you know what I'm saying? Like he still got that mentality. He got a killer mentality, but he got the wrong killer mentality. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's embarrassing himself. I don't even think he realizes what he was. You know what I'm saying? Like. He's starting to make the tabloids look true, yo. Like, remember how they were saying I forgot the number. It was a crazy number.
93.
Yeah, 93. Like that game yesterday. You know what I'm saying? His play lately is living up to that. You know what I'm saying? I think that could be it too. Now that I think about it, that could have fucked with him so mentally because you know how stubborn he is. It could mess with him so mentally. Like, yo, I'm gonna prove him wrong. I'm probably gonna put up another 81-point game. This is the Garden. Oh, you know, like you know how. Come on, man. You know how Kobe mind state is though. But he's just proving them right. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trying to prove them wrong, but he's proving them right with his play style. And with that said, I think he could be more effective if he was just smarter. If he trusted his teammates. So what they trash. It's the NBA. You don't get selected to the NBA for no reason. You feel me? The average person ain't making it to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? You just got to pass that ball around, man, to give him a chance. With him taking all these shots and shit, it's like, come on, man. He's looking like he did some Nick Young Swaggy P shit yesterday, yo. Now Swaggy P, Swaggy P will like have a brain fart in the middle of the game. Kobe had a couple of the shots he's taking is crazy. Like, he's taking some crazy shots, yo. That's how I feel about it. So I think you got to hang it up, man. Because if you letting your pride get to you like that, you got to hang it up.
All right, man. Let's get GonzoStar, man. Gonzo.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
All right.
Good, man.
Kobe. You ever heard that saying that say pride come before a fall? And Kobe done fell flat on his face, man. He's time for him to hang them shits up, take them raglag shoes and that jersey, put it on a nice little hanger, stick it in the closet, get the forks out because it's well done. It's over. You know, I'm sorry. And we can talk about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, when he was in his last years in Washington, my man was still averaging 20, shooting like 42, 43%. Way better than Kobe's 33 and what he shooting now, like with 29, 30. Like so there's no comparison in that department. Mike still the greatest of all time, even as a Wizard. But Kobe his pride got in the way, man. Like honestly, after this last injury, he shouldn't even tried to come back. He should have just stayed at the crib. You know, so make amends with his wife, who he kept cheating on, fix all that. You know what I'm saying? Spend some time with the kids. If the girls into basketball, you know, so get his daughters, teach him some of the skills he used to have. Hopefully he can live his dream through one of them. They make it to the WNBA or, to the collegiate level. But he got to let it go, man. Kobe got to let it go. There's nothing in basketball for him to do no more.
Everything's frozen. Let it go.
Let it go. Real talk. It's just time for him to let it go.
It's true. And you said the same thing. That pride, boy. I'm telling you, it's that pride, yo.
Let's get to our caller real quick, man. Hold on. 267.
What's going on? This is Dre Baldwin.
Dre Baldwin, man. Welcome to the Online Nation, man.
What's going on, man? Thank you.
Well, we good, man. Man, it's good to have you here, man. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Don't know you.
For those who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin. All right, my name is Dre Baldwin. I'm a Philadelphia native. I live in Miami now. My background is as a pro athlete. I played basketball overseas 9 years, coming out of Penn State, Altoona, which is an NCAA Division III school. A lot of people might not know me from that or even overseas, but a lot of people may know me from YouTube. I got over 4,000 videos on YouTube, many of them basketball workouts, training, drills, things like that, talking about the mental side of the game, motivation, confidence, pre-game preparation, getting ready to perform in front of audiences, getting yourself comfortable playing against people that you don't know, performance anxiety, things like that. You know, that's what a lot of people know me from when it comes to basketball.
Okay. Yeah, man, I've been watching your videos, man, since like a couple of years now, man. Like, you do a lot of great motivation and stuff like that, and I definitely appreciate the work that you put in, man.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, Spaz Gonzo, you want to ask him anything? Talk to him.
Yeah, this Baz. Yo, what's up, Dre?
What's up? What did you say your name was?
Spaz, Lil Spaz 57. You know who introduced me to you? Yeah. You know who introduced me to you?
Who?
Shakedown 2012.
Yeah, Shakedown's a good dude. I did a vid with Shakedown a couple of years ago. A couple of summers ago.
He put me on in your videos. You doing like basketball drills and stuff like that, right? Like the handles and all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's exactly who introduced. I'm thinking like as you saying that, I'm like, yo, why you sound familiar? That sound familiar. I'm like, this guy sound familiar. Yeah? So my question I got for you is like, what happened like with your basketball career, like?
Well, I started playing in 2005, coming out of Penn State, Altoona, NCAA Division III, played in 8 countries over 9 years.
Okay. What was you, like a shooting guard or what?
Yeah, I played both guard positions, sometimes on the wing if necessary.
What you got, like, what type of advice you got for somebody going, like, that wants to pursue that career, like, in basketball, like, to make it to, like, that level?
If somebody wants to play pro ball, well, number one thing is you got to be able to play. You know, you got to work on your game so that you have the skills so you can actually get out there and perform. And whatever level that you're at now, let's say somebody's in high school or they're in college, you got to perform where you're at. You know, a lot of players sometimes get ahead of themselves. I get high schoolers reaching out to me talking about they want to play in the D League or play overseas or what do they need to do to get there. And I tell them the first thing you need to do is actually play well where you at. So if you're in 10th grade or you're in 11th grade, you need to focus on playing well now where you are, because if you don't, then you won't even get to the next opportunity to even be able to show your game. So once you get to the point where you think you might have the game, then you just need to go somewhere where people can see you play. You got to get yourself exposed. And I write about this stuff all in detail on my website, DreAllDay.com. I got a guide and page where I talk about in detail every area of playing basketball professionally, from how to get yourself started, getting videos, contacting agents, who to talk to, going to exposure camps, your money, contacting your people back home, just how to get yourself known, how to network, all of that. And I actually just put out a course online that's also on my website that people can take that'll basically show you every step you need to take in detail. I'll take you from point A to point Z as far as getting your career started.
The next question I got for you is, like, I've been hearing, like, a lot of, like, people, like, you know how they have the overseas, like, for example, like, let's just say Porzingis for one, and, like, the Dirk Nowinski's and stuff. With the basketball now that we have now, right, you know how American, like, ball players are real, cocky and arrogant. Do you feel like the game is going to get eventually taken from them, like the opportunities that are out there for American players versus the overseas players? Because it seems like a lot of overseas players are more disciplined. Bizarre actually had pointed this out, and I was like, man, that's kind of true. But from you as, like, a person that's been in it, that's in it, you know what I'm saying? Because I know you breathe it. I know you breathe basketball, you know what I'm saying? So what's your thoughts on that? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think a lot of people have that perception maybe because you see a couple of European guys and maybe they seem a certain way, and maybe because you've seen a lot of American players. Maybe you see American players that's playing in the street or in rec leagues or the guys in the NBA, but it's way more than them. So you kind of have it's kind of a distorted view you might have of a European versus an American player, but I don't think that's actually the case. And we've seen the international competitions, the United States seems to be handling themselves pretty well. So I don't see the Americans getting the game or anything taken away from them by any other players from outside the country. Of course, there are always going to be good players from outside of the USA who come to the United States. They get their shot to play in the league. They should definitely do it. But the game of basketball has always and still for the foreseeable future will still belong to the Americans. I think they made that pretty clear in international competition.
Right. Do you think American people take it for granted? Let's put it like that. Do you think they take their chance
No, I
for
don't
granted?
think so.
No?
No.
All right. Gonzo, you got
I think people see the European guys, kind of like I said previously. People see a few Europeans, like you see Dirk, you see Ginobili, maybe a Tony Parker. In New York, you got Porzingis. That's only a few guys. They're the best of the best. They're the top, 1% of 1% of guys from Europe. But there are a lot of players in Europe who you will never hear of because they won't be playing in the NBA. Or maybe they want to, but they don't get their opportunity. So don't just go off of that couple guys. It's kind of like if somebody never saw black people before, but they know the president is Obama, and they might think all black people are like him. But it's obviously not the case. The more black people you know, the more you see that there's a lot of differences out there. So you don't just go off of the couple examples that you see. There are a lot of guys out there that you just don't know about,
Spurs was an international team, though, and they won two titles the last decade. So, you know what I'm saying? Spurs is like a straight international team, and that's a real disciplined team. If we could use that comparison, I think that's a fair comparison.
Spurs are a great team. I wouldn't say they're necessarily more disciplined. They play well as a team. They're a great team. I think every NBA team any team that's going to compete for a championship in the NBA is pretty disciplined. I mean, even when they played the Heat 2 years in a row, I think both teams were disciplined both years. It's just 1 year, one team won, and the other year the other team won. Sometimes it's just the better team wins, and it's not necessarily having European players doesn't mean you're always going to win the championship. I mean, Dirk Nowitzki's been in the league for how many years? He has one championship. LeBron has more championships than him, so that's by your reasoning, you can say that makes American players more disciplined. So there are way more American-born players with NBA rings than there are Europeans. Just like the Chicago Bulls. I mean, they had Tony Kukoc. Was he the reason that they won the championship, or was it Jordan and Pippen, or the coach Phil Jackson? These are all American guys. So again, I wouldn't go off a few small examples. Because again, you can name the Europeans on the Spurs team, but there are 10,000 Europeans playing basketball who will never see a second of NBA basketball. So they don't represent all Europeans. They're the top of the top, the same way the guys in the NBA are the top of the top of everybody in America who plays basketball. There are millions of guys playing pickup ball in LA fitnesses around America right now. Most people will never hear of those guys. That means the American guys who are in the NBA, they're the top one. They don't represent the whole. They're the elite.
Yeah, you're right. I said two for the Spurs in the decade. They didn't win two in this decade. They won one, right? They got there twice in this decade.
The Spurs?
Yeah. I had to correct myself because I said the Spurs won two in the last decade. And I just thought about it. No, they didn't win two. They went twice in the last decade, right?
2010, we had the Lakers. 2011 was Dallas. 2012 and 13 was Miami. 14 was the Spurs. And last year it was Golden State. Won this decade.
They went twice. All right.
Right.
All right. So who you got winning this year? Like, what's your favorite team? Who you see winning this year?
In the finals, I'm looking for the West. Of course, is so wide open with so many good teams. I say your top four. I have to say the Clippers, Golden State, Spurs, and the Thunder. I think the Thunder can come out of that four, but any one of them could come out. But I think before the season, my pick was OKC. And out of the East, they stay healthy is going to be the Cavs. So OKC against the Cavs, so we get KD against LeBron again. But out of the West, I think it could be any one of those four teams. They are pretty damn good.
And speaking of the Thunder, Gonzo.
Yo.
Gonzo, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What you think about OKC this year? Like, it's like we're seeing the changing of the guard right now. Like, is that Westbrook team or is that KD team?
I saw that Bulls. I saw the Bulls game, and I'm gonna tell you something. I still think it's KD's team. This is what scares me about Russell Westbrook. He can put up all the numbers. He has all the heart, but he takes a lot of dumb shots. I don't like his passes. I don't like a lot of his passes per se. He gets a lot of turnovers because he makes a lot of errant passes, and I think he plays too fast. I don't think you can play basketball at 100 miles per hour every play. And sometimes you got to know how to slow your pace up. Even just to set your feet for a good mid-range shot. He's always going fast, and it's like he pulls up and it's just like this air ball shot or this hard like line drive off the backboard. He's playing too fast. I don't like that about his game. But when it comes down to who I think going to win the championship again, make no mistake about it, Golden State will win again. They will go back to back. There's not a team in the NBA that I think that can beat them.
All right.
Steph Curry is just, I ain't gonna lie, Steph Curry, man, so I think the change in the guard has pretty much already taken place. It was LeBron's league, and it was supposed to go to KD, but I think KD kind of slipped, and I think it's going to be changing the guard from LeBron to Steph Curry. The guy is such a remarkable shooter, man. I'm talking about, he had Anthony Davis draped all over him behind the three-point line. He's like, okay, fine, you can get close. I'm just going to step back 6 more feet and hit this 30 feet. Or you can come out here and guard me, but I'm just going to go around you and go to the hole and get this nice little scoop layup off the backboard. His handles have gotten so much better. Steph Curry is doing something like, he's almost becoming, he started to develop like this mentality like a Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, kind of like, where he's becoming unstoppable and he knows it. The guy's hitting shots, and before the ball goes in, he's celebrating with the crowd. He's giving his teammates high fives. He's a disrespectful mug. Like,
yeah, that's true. I seen that too. I seen him actually shoot people.
He got the right.
Looked away. Yeah, he
looked
away.
But he got the right because he's tearing the league up. Like what he's doing for his size. There's nobody else who can do this, man. Like I see them repeating.
What you think about that, Dre?
Huh?
What you think about that, Dre?
About gentleman's comment that he just made. As far as Steph Curry, Steph Curry is definitely one of the best. There's no doubt about that. As far as your comments on Russell Westbrook, I'm not sure I see eye to eye with you on that with Westbrook. I mean, the guy is Russell Westbrook, his speed and his athleticism is what makes him tough to stop. Last season we saw when KD was out, for that last 6 to 8 weeks of the season, Russell Westbrook was the best player in the whole NBA for about a 6-week span. As far as between those two guys, him and KD, I don't think it's either one of them's team. I mean, there's not that type of situation. It's not a Kobe Shaq situation where you got two guys who have egos so big where they feel like they got to be the man. That's kind of what the situation was in L.A. Or it's kind of, this one is more kind of like, I feel like the Miami Heat, where you got two really great players. If one guy's stepping up and doing his thing, then he's going to do his thing. But the other guy is not. The other guy doesn't feel insecure about person two doing their thing. So KD goes out and scores 50 points. I think Westbrook is happy with that. And if Westbrook goes and gets 40 and a triple-double, I think KD is happy with that. There's just a different type of personality. And it's not like a Chicago Bulls thing where it got to be one alpha dog and the other guy got to fall back like a Jordan and Pippen. So I don't think it's really either guy's team in that situation. As far as Russell's playing ability, he's one of the top 5 players in the game, period, right now. I don't think he should change anything about his game because I think as they are, they can win a championship with the team that they have right now. Whether or not they're going to actually do that depends on a lot of factors, of course, health, how people play in the playoffs, adjustments that the coaches make. They got a new coaching staff, but they have the team to win the championship. With those two guys alone, they're going to be a threat to any team in a 7-game series.
But what about his IQ though? Because I agree with my coach. I agree with Gonzo right there, right? Because IQ is like, because the decisions Westbrook makes is not the, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he renders the team ineffective at sometimes, like, and you can see that. Like I know you got to be able to see that. Like he'll mess the team up sometimes. Like his decisions are sometimes like not the greatest ones. Like like he said, he plays too fast. You know what I'm saying? I see that in Russell Westbrook. Right? He plays too fast and he doesn't make the right choices. In other words, you know what I'm saying?
Well, Russell Westbrook is leading the NBA in assists at 10.9 per game. I don't know what his overall stats are. I don't see I'm looking at his stats right now, but he's leading the league in assists by far right now. I don't think, as far as him playing fast, that's exactly what he should be doing because nobody else can play at the speed that he plays at. That's his advantage, the fact that he has that speed. There's nobody who can stay in front of him. He can get any shot that he wants at any time. That's the strength of his game. So I think he should keep playing like that because that's what makes him who he is. And, I mean, listen, the guy's been in the league for a while, and Russell Westbrook's been pretty damn good. I mean, the guy averages 26 points, 10.9 assists, 2 steals, and 7 rebounds. There's not another point guard putting up those type of numbers overall across the board. And his athleticism is the reason he's doing it. So I definitely don't agree with the he plays too fast things. It's working. It's working for them. Yes, he's going to have some turnovers. Like all players turn the ball over. Allen Iverson was one of the top turnover guys in the NBA while he was leading the league in scoring. So you're going to make mistakes. It's just like the guy who hits the most home runs gets the most strikeouts. It's going to happen. But he's still very effective with the way he is playing. I don't think he should change anything.
All right. You got it.
That's very debated. So if we talk about that, so how hard is it to get to the NBA? Because I know you've done a few tryouts and stuff like that. Like, give us the process. Like how hard is it?
People always ask me that question. I mean, how hard something is can't really be quantified. So what do you mean when you're asking that? How hard is it? Because hard is a relative term.
Okay, that's true. Okay, well, let's say like if somebody hasn't made it from a Division I and stuff like that, and they have to go do if they was on the bench on D2 or D3, and then they try to go overseas into the NBA or the D League. So I know a lot of players like myself and other people that actually tried out for the D League, stuff like that. Like, is that process from the D League to the NBA hard?
Well, again, you're coming back to that hard word. What do you mean by hard?
Right? I mean, yeah, that's definitely an interesting thing. But
because what's hard for one person could be easy for another person. The exact same thing.
Okay. So what about your process then? Was it easy for you? Was it hard?
All right. It's kind of like you're asking me the same question. I wouldn't say it's either. I mean, the process is what the process is. I mean, hard and easy is relative to who the person is. So, for example, it might be easy for Yao Ming to dunk, but it's hard for Smokey Boat, even though it's the exact same action. So, I mean, the process for getting to the league, I mean, pretty much it is pretty self-explanatory. You just had to be chosen. The NBA is a job. They hire people. It's just like overseas is a job, just like the D League is a job. You had to get hired for the job. So either you get the job or you don't. So if you didn't get the job, then you got to, present yourself a different way. Yeah, what's the question?
I want to ask a question. Well, what do you think the reason is for people like bums like Kendrick Perkins who in the league, which I know it has to be 1,000 other players better than him that could be in that spot being way more productive?
I'm glad you asked that question. A lot of people say stuff like that, like such and such player is a bum. He shouldn't be in the league. He can't play.
I'm not saying you say. I'm saying. I know it has to be 1,000 other players better than Kendrick Perkins. This guy was like 2 points and like 9 fouls. Like he's
that's what I'm saying. Like, I hear people say stuff like that all the time about certain players, like a guy who's at the end of the bench or he can't play. Remember Brian Scalabrine? Did y'all see the videos when he was playing guys one-on-one up in Boston the year after he retired? Did y'all ever see that?
I seen it. I know something. Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't see it.
Yeah, because there was a bunch of players. People had, it's on YouTube. It's called The Challenge. And what it was there were a lot of people saying, like, how is this guy, this chubby, awkward-looking white guy in the NBA? Why is he in the NBA? He never played. He's always at the end of the bench. So he said, all right, we're going to have tryouts for the best players that, like, listen to this radio show, whatever show he was on. And we're going to let the best 4 or 5 guys play me one-on-one. And they had a gym. They had fans come watch the games, and he mopped the floor with all them motherfuckers. It was like they wasn't even there. So he was showing them that what a lot of people had to understand is that to get to the NBA, even to sit on the bench and wear a suit, you had to be one of the top 1%, top 0.001% basketball players in the world. Nobody's there in no honorary spots. Nobody's there by luck. Kendrick Perkins averaged, I don't remember the exact numbers, but if you look it up, Kendrick Perkins averaged like 40 points a game as a senior in high school. Kendrick Perkins ain't no bum. Like, Kendrick Perkins could come to whatever rec league anybody listening to this plays in, and he'll score 50 on anybody in there because nobody could stop him. So the fact that he's 7 feet is being tall is a talent. You know, players who are that tall are hard to come by. Now, a guard who's, let's say, 6'2" or 6'3", you can find a guard to replace a guard, but a 7-footer is not easy to keep around. And another thing with Perkins, once you've been on winning teams and you've won championships as a starter, you get the tag of being like a veteran. You're like one of those leader veteran guys that you want to get around a young team because he's been there. He knows what it feels like to win a title. So a team like the Pelicans, who's young, and they got a guy like Davis who needs a big guy next to him, who's not a big bulky dude. He needs a big guy in the paint next to him. They need a guy like Kendrick Perkins on that team who can be a leader, he's like a presence in the locker room to help the young guys out. He knows what it's like to win a championship, and he's protecting their number one asset, which is Anthony Davis, who is maybe possibly one of the best, maybe a chance to be the best player in the league someday. So they need somebody like Perkins to be in there. It's not necessarily about points, because in basketball, it's only one ball. Everybody can't score 20 points. Everybody has their role. Everybody has to play their part. And there are guys who can score. Just because you can score doesn't mean that you're going to get a spot on the team. Like, players come to me often and they say, I got better handles or I can shoot better than this guy, but he made the team and I didn't. Well, you got to understand, a basketball team is just like at a job. If somebody worked at, let's say, McDonald's, when you walk into a McDonald's, you look around, everybody can't take the orders and take the money. There's somebody who has to take the money. There's somebody who has to make the fries. There's somebody making the burgers. There's somebody mopping the floor. There's somebody cleaning the toilets, and there's somebody overseeing all of it. So there's certain roles that need to be played on every basketball team. It's not all about who has the talent, who got the handle, who got the shot, because you can't have 10 guys who think they should be scoring 30. It's not going to work. You got to have a guy who knows he's not going to get the ball, and he's cool with that. You need a guy who wants to get 10 rebounds. You need a guy who just wants to use his fouls. You need a guy who wants to pass. You need a guy who wants to shoot. You need a guy who wants to go one-on-one. You need an athlete. You need somebody who wants to play defense. So there are different roles on a basketball team. It's not all about points, but to kind of address what you said, any player in the NBA will come into the average rec league and score 50 on anybody in that gym, just as a general rule, just so everybody understands that. Like, they can all play.
So you don't think Kendrick Perkins be dropping a lot of burgers when he works at McDonald's?
Dropping what?
I was just fucking with you, man.
Kendrick Perkins can play. I told you, Kendrick Perkins averaged 40 as a senior in high school. Who's the last person you see do that in any high school, anywhere? That ain't no luck.
Right, you're right. I think the game changed. Like, the game changes. Like, I think the big man is like, I don't know. It's just like the thing of the past, though. Like, dominant big man. I think the game is like just basically, I ain't gonna say it's going to the smaller, but I'm saying it's already here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think it's a wrap for big men now.
Yeah, I mean, the small ball thing, I know what you mean with the small ball teams still do the small ball stuff, but listen, if a Shaquille O'Neal comes along, he's still going to be in the NBA. I don't care if it's 10 years from now, 20 years from now, a 7-footer who can move like Shaq is going to have a job, always. That's right. Always going to be there. Now, maybe some teams, they went to small ball. The reason the Golden State Warriors did small ball because their center was injured. That's the reason that they did it. They didn't have a center. And the Cavs, they played a couple games they did the big men, and they did small ball. But at the end of the day, who was the guy the ball was going to no matter who was on the court? It's going to LeBron. It don't matter who else is out there. So the game is always going to be the game. The best player is always going to be the best player. So somebody with LeBron's skill set, who's Shaq's size, comes around, is going to be a big man in the game again. So it just so happens that there are smaller guys who are on the team that won. But guess what? 2 years ago, who won the championship? The Spurs with 2 7-footers, Tim Duncan and Thiago Splitter. So I think people sometimes have a short memory of what's actually going on.
But I think the Spurs would have went regardless, though, because that's the Spurs. I mean, that's that system. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, because Kawhi Leonard was the MVP. It's like anybody could be thrown in the Spurs system. Don't you agree? And be, if you discipline and you have the no.
You saying that anybody, which means one of us could just go play on the Spurs and they
not an NBA player, not us. You know, an NBA player.
Not any NBA player could play on the Spurs. No.
Not a J.R.
Players that they needed to win. No, not the average NBA player could not just get thrown into the Spurs system and make it work because, like I told you, same as Buddy McDonald's, everybody has to be able to play their role the right way. Tim Duncan is 7 feet. Thiago Splitter is 7 feet. They had 2 7-footers starting that year. You know, and then the next year the Warriors went small, and everybody's saying, "Oh, the NBA small now. Big guys are done." No, y'all just forgot the Spurs they almost won back-to-back titles. You know, if it hadn't been for that rebound. When the big guy was on the bench. So people kind of get a short memory. The Lakers, Shaq won 4 championships. The Bulls, even the Chicago Bulls, Dennis Rodman was just he was a rebounding big man. They had another big man starting. The man was Jordan. Before that, Hakeem Olajuwon. You had David Robinson. You had Ewing. You had Magic playing center. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on that team. The Celtics. Larry Bird was 6'9". Mikhail 6'10". Parrish 7 feet. So I don't think the big man is going anywhere. As long as there are players who can play, that's really what the game is always going to be about. Players who can play, making them fit together in one system, and the coach who can actually make it work. That's the most important thing. You just got to have a coach who can make it work.
Chemistry.
Exactly. On that. Chemistry. But the systems are for college basketball. College basketball is run by the system, which means that's why the coach is in charge. Like, if any of you play college ball or know somebody who does, you understand the coach is the man in college because every 4 years is going to be new players. So no player is that valuable that he can replace the coach because the coach is going to be there for 20 years while the players are only going to be there for 4, 3, 2, or 1 year. But in the NBA, and the players aren't getting paid in college. The coach is getting paid. So they're dispensable. In the NBA, the players are making all the money. So if the player doesn't like the coach is going to go. So it's not a system thing in the NBA. It's the NBA is a players' league. I'm sure you heard people say that before. College is a system league, the coaches' league. So the best players are always going to be near the top in the NBA. The best players who also have a system that works for them. But you can't just say take a system. You take Greg Popovich, replace their whole facsimile player to each one of those starting 5. They're not even going to be in the finals. So it all has to work together.
Okay. We got a new call on the line that I want to ask you a question.
All right.
210. You're live. 210.
Hello?
Yeah, hello? You live.
Yeah, man, my bad, bro. Man, I'm on the run right now, on the road. But this your boy Shout, man.
What up?
Yeah, what's up, man? Welcome to the Online Nation.
Yeah, hey, I know y'all on something totally different right now, man. But I was really just trying to get everybody's opinion on what y'all want to see coming from the holiday patch that's going to drop probably any week now. I don't know when, but they haven't sent out the word that they actually sent it out to PlayStation, Microsoft yet. But I know y'all on something totally different, man. But I just want to see what y'all have to say or what y'all really want to see from the patch that's coming up, or if you think it's going to make or break the game.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that later on, but we got Dre all day on the line if you want to ask him any questions.
Okay.
What's going on?
You have any questions to ask him?
Man, nah, because this is the first time I actually get to call in. I always catch y'all late, man. It's the one time that I do catch y'all know something totally different, man. So I'm going to respect that you have your guest on, shout out to, Dre all day, salute to you. But, I guess I just catch, I guess I just catch y'all, man, whenever y'all really just talking about 2K. Right now, my Lakers are garbage. We're not looking too good right now. But, I'm really mad about these Lakers, man. I'm keeping my faith with them. I'm always stay loyal no matter what. I'm Rep Laker Nation to the end. But
I hear you, man.
But yeah, if I do have to ask you something since you know about the real NBA, do you think Byron Scott is the right man to coach the team that we have now? If I want to ask something.
That's a question to me?
Yeah, that's a question to you.
Byron Scott, it's hard to say because the Lakers don't have a lot of talent. You know, in the NBA, is a players' league, like we was just talking about before you came on the call, my man. If you don't have no talent, I don't care if Phil Jackson or Red Auerbach coaching, Greg Popovich coaching. If you don't have talent, your team's not going to compete. The Lakers are just not that good. I don't know if Kobe's going to round into shape and start, being Kobe as we know him. I don't know. I don't know if he's just old and this is all we're going to see of Kobe, or if he just needs to kind of catch up. Because I think I read that he missed like 3 weeks of training camp because he had a leg injury. So maybe it is more we're going to get from Kobe. But right now, the team is just not very talented. Their best players are all super young. They got two basically rookies because Randall got hurt first game of the season. They got D'Angelo. He's a rookie. Clarkson is in his second year. Those are their best players. And then you got Kobe, who's in his 20th year. So it's not a lot to work with right now. So I don't think it's the coach that's the challenge. They just need some talent. You can't judge Byron Scott off that.
Straight up, man.
That's facts. All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in, man.
Straight up, NYC. Shout out to Spaz, everybody Online Nation. Let's get it. Laker Nation, we're not looking too good right now, but just, if you're down with it, just stay down no matter what, man. We got to stay loyal to our team. So shout out to you guys, man. Thanks for taking my call. Dre all day, I appreciate you taking my question also, man. I'm going to holler at y'all in a minute.
No doubt.
Definitely. It's another call, real quick. 713.
Yo. It's Texas Champ from Houston.
Okay, what's up, man? We got Dre on the line right now if you want to ask him any questions.
Man, your voice
I've been hearing
like one of my dudes that I grew up with. I thought it was.
Yeah, man, I've been listening last couple of minutes on the show. Good points. Hey, man, we were talking about y'all were talking about Popovich, and I know you said you can't just put all these players together and basically form a team, but I think when you got that kind of a coach, you can get a lot of these players and put them together to form a great team. Either way, look at the Hawks, for instance. The Hawks, they do got some high-quality players, but they got a good coach coming out of San Antonio doing this thing since last year, man. I think they were number one last year in the East.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you also got to look at what else the coach is doing, because the coach has say in the personnel of a basketball team. Like, the reason the Spurs have that quote-unquote system that everybody references is because Greg Popovich is the coach and he's the general manager. So not only does he do the cooking, but he gets to shop for the groceries. He gets to choose who the players are in his system. So he chose LaMarcus Aldridge. He chose Ginobili. He chose Boris Diaw. He chose to trade George Hill for Kawhi Leonard. He chose Tim Duncan. He picked all those players. Right. He picked all those guys. And he actually, one thing I read about that trade was that he actually cried when he had to call and tell George Hill that they was trading him. He loved George Hill. But they had to give him up because they thought Kawhi fit even more into what they wanted to do. And it's the same thing with Budenholzer in Atlanta. He had say in picking up Paul Millsap and getting Kyle Korver, Bazemore, and putting that team together. So it's not just I'll just walk into the gym and whoever you got, I'm gonna make it work. That's not how it is. He has say in who those players are, and he gets to mold that roster in the fashion of how he wants to coach.
Definitely. Man, another thing, man, sorry to interrupt you, buddy. The Lakers, that team right there, man, if you really look at that team isn't as bad as really people think. But I think it's the coaching on that team that makes them really bad. You got Roy Hibbert. You got a couple shooters at the guard position. You got a couple good, solid shooters. And, you got a young point guard, of course. But, man, I don't know why people really feel like it's more of the players that are bad on the team. I think they actually got okay players. I just think they don't have a good system in play, man.
Well, look at it like this. You said they got a big guy, they got some shooters, and they got a point guard, right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
All right, now name one team in the NBA who doesn't have those three things.
But look at the people they got, though. Look at the people they're playing, though. They got a Hibbert dude, man, that he's making over, what, $15 million a year? They got Lou Williams. He ain't making no chunk change either. Kobe Bryant, he's, what, $24 million a year?
Yeah, well, the amount of money you make doesn't necessarily correlate to how good of a player that you are. Like, every team in the league has a big guy. Money. They got a guard. They got shooters.
Yeah, but I mean, don't.
Huh?
Sorry, bro, I didn't hear you.
Said they got that money for a reason, though. Like, because I know what he's trying. I know what he's saying. Like, Roy Hibbert was like a few years before. I don't know what. I don't know if it was that somebody had sex with his wife on the team or something like that. Paul George, I forgot what it was. But Roy Hibbert, that 1 year, Roy Hibbert, he was doing his thing to get that money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see exactly what he's saying. It's not like Roy Hibbert was a pushover. Like, he was good, and then something happened where he went back to, he lost like his superpowers or something.
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. The thing is, that's kind of the reason Roy Hibbert got paid the way that he got paid was actually because he was a restricted free agent a few years ago. And this is when the Pacers was first starting to come up. This is when they still had Granger, when Granger was healthy, and Paul George was still the number 2 guy. And they were building that team. They needed Roy Hibbert as the center, and the Portland Trailblazers actually offered Roy a max contract. And because Indiana wanted to keep him, they had to match the max contract. That's why he has the deal that he has. The Pacers weren't going to give him that. Because if they were, he would never had even shopped free agency. He would have just took the max from the Pacers. So that's how he ended up getting that money. But even more important than that is the reason he was such a big name was because on the Pacers he fit. He did exactly what they needed. They didn't need him to score no points. All they needed him to do was that verticality thing and get in LeBron James' way. That was the reason Roy Hibbert was valuable, because he was getting in LeBron James' way. Now he don't face LeBron James every year in the West. So he's not really – he don't have the value that he has.
So don't you think that statement right there proves the point of a player playing good in the system? Because Lance Stevenson also was a beast on the places, and it was that system. He was perfect. He was right for that system, that coaching. As soon as he left,
for the personnel, he's right for the personnel that they have.
He went from born ready to. I don't know what the hell happened.
Nah, good point, man. Good point.
The personnel.
My last question, bro, before I go, man.
Yeah.
Last question before I go. Sorry, guys. Sorry to interrupt y'all. I got to go. But, hey, man, before I go, what do you think about the Clippers, bro? Do you honestly think that Doc Rivers is really the answer for that team? I mean, I know they got a lot of talent on that team, but, hey, man, that time is clicking on the Clippers, man. You know, Chris Paul aging. I mean, they got big men, you know, in the future, but Chris Paul, you know, year by year, his age is getting older and older. Are they getting past Western Conference Finals or probably another first-round exit?
Well, the Clippers was up by, 20 points in the third quarter in Game 6? What Doc Rivers had to do with that? They choked. The players choked. Blake Griffin didn't want the ball. Chris Paul couldn't make a shot. And they couldn't stop anybody on Houston. That didn't have anything to do with the coach.
No
Doc
way.
Rivers, let's remember, Doc Rivers won a championship. Doc Rivers already got a title. He's proven. He's the only one proven on that team. If we're going to start questioning people, Chris Paul's not proven. Blake's not proven. DeAndre's not proven. Lance is not proven. They don't have no rings. Remember why you play the game. You play the game to win.
You gotta question the coach last year in the third quarter, losing that series to Houston. I mean, you gotta look at it like that also. You got Jason Terry, Corey Brewer, Josh Smith. You got also Dwight Howard. Who else was on that court against your bench out there instead of putting your starters in maybe earlier? I think maybe Prigioni, yeah.
Blake wasn't making shots. Chris Paul was missing. They were on the court. Players win and lose games, bro. You can't blame the coach. When you up by 18 and your team blows it and loses Game 6 and lose Game 7, that's on the players. That's not on the coach. The players got to go out there and play.
But the coach also got to have the right scheme.
If we boil it all down, the right scheme got them up to be up by 20 with a quarter and a half to go to get to the next round. They blew it. What about the first round when they beat the defending champs? What about if we're going to talk about the coach? We got to mention the good and the bad. they lost that game, but it's the players that was out there playing. They lost the game. And at the end, let's just say everybody on the Clippers retired from the NBA right now. Who's the most proven guy out of everybody in that organization is the guy with the championship. Not the guy with the stats or the sneaker deal, is the guy with the ring. Because the only reason you play is to get the ring. And they picked up Paul Pierce because hopefully he get some of that to brush off on him. But Doc is way more proven than any of those players.
Hey, man, I like Doc. Don't get me wrong. I like him. He's like you say, he's a championship coach. He also did win the championship team with 3 Hall of Famers, though. And, I mean, 1 All-Star in the making. I just think that, man, with that team, you know, a lot of coaches out there probably would have already won a championship, man. And, you know, he also has some bad years in, I think, Orlando, New Orleans. He has some bad years.
Yeah, everybody's had. He had no talent. And that's why he left those teams. Well, you don't have
talent. Oh, no, he has some talent. He had Chris Paul in New Orleans with David West. Oh, they had a lot of talent in New Orleans.
Doc Rivers wasn't that coach. He wasn't coaching New Orleans. He was coaching Orlando, then Boston. Orlando.
He didn't coach New Orleans.
What year was he coaching New Orleans?
Man, I think it was 03, 04, 05.
That was Byron Scott.
Maybe Byron Scott. Okay. That's my bad.
So, I mean, if we're going to go off that, if we're going to go by that logic, man, then you got to say all 30, how many teams in the league? 30? You got to say it's 29 bad coaches every year because everybody.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm basically saying 29 coaches are bad, but what I'm trying to really say, bro, is you look at the team he has, though. The team he has, but they're not winning that championship. They're not. They're not going to win a championship with that coach, in my opinion. But if you think otherwise, hey, man, I understand. Either way, man, thanks for taking my call. I got to go, bro. This Texas champ from Houston. I'll call next week.
All right. And with that said, we do it about that time. It's been a good show, too. Hours be going by quick when we do these things, bro. Like, yeah, we got to wrap it up. It's almost 7 o'clock.
It's a good conversation, man. I'm glad y'all had me on. It's a good conversation y'all got going on in here.
Yes, sir. Glad to have you here, man.
Appreciate it, man. You have any last thing to say?
Yeah, I guess y'all talking about the league. So, I mean, as a brother said who just got off the phone, we're just going to have to see how things play out. But in the end, I think in the East, what I'm looking for, I want to see LeBron in the finals again this year. Out of the West, if it's any one of those top 4 teams, who I think are the top 4 teams, I think it's going to be a great finals to see because everybody's going to tune in to see LeBron against whoever. Even if it's the Clippers, we get to see them finally make it. There's the Warriors, we get to see a rematch of healthy teams. There's the Spurs, LeBron against the Spurs again. And if it's OKC, it's LeBron against KD. So I think either way it works out for the fans, the people who watch the game, as long as we get to see the Cavs come out of the East. I think they're the best team by far on that side. But I'm looking forward to see what happens, man, just like y'all are. But I appreciate y'all having a show like this to give people a chance to, you know, say their piece, voice their opinion.
Definitely. Sir. You have any social media that you want to give out before we get off?
Yeah, I'll just give them my Twitter, which is @DreAllDay, and then you can find me on everything else through that. So my Twitter is Dre All Day. I'm on there. I'm tweeting every single day, talking about motivation, talking about confidence, you know, getting people going, empowerment, and every once in a while we talk basketball too. So I'm there.
All right, definitely, man. One more question. My boy Trav asked a question on Twitter. He asked, "What do you think is the best team to you? Who's the best team in your opinion? Who's the best team in your opinion in the NBA right now?" That's what he wanted to ask.
The best team in the NBA right now. We're going to have to go with the defending champs. They playing the best. I did a preview video about the season. I thought they might lose in the semifinals, but right now, I mean, it's still super early, but right now they're playing excellent. Curry is on fire. They seem to be playing with a vengeance. They want to prove that last year wasn't a joke, a fluke.
Okay, yeah. He just told me Oklahoma, the Thunder. That's his opinion.
Yeah, I think they got a chance too. I mean, so much talent out there. It's really going to come down
to
how
people
are playing when it comes time to the final. The Knicks,
not the Lakers, man.
Well, I think the Knicks could at least make the playoffs. And if they make the playoffs, I'll be happy.
All right, I hope they. I hope they do too, man. They got to make the playoffs, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, they got to. That or they got to trade Melo. They don't make the playoffs. Melo got to go. Yeah.
Every Monday night at 6 o'clock p.m. man, Eastern, man. But you could call it anytime you want to also, Dre. Anytime.
All right. Much appreciated, fellas. Thank you for having me.
All right, bro.
All right.
Okay, let's do this. Jog 3 miles before breakfast. Make it to work by 9. Run out for a salad at lunch. Oh, time to own that meeting at 3. Yes, 10,000 steps. What's next?
Fearless is not hitting snooze. That's the power of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Federal Employee Program. With more healthy benefits and tools, no one does more to help you live fearless. Sign up at fepblue.org/action by December 14th.